guess Oswald really cleared out of here.
Hello, Sylvia! Nice day, isn't it?
It's definitely a great day to buy a potion. See anything you like?
Oh, I see quite a bit that I like, my Duchess. But I'm afraid I'm not here for pleasure or for potions this time. I wanted to let you know about an issue that some of the heroes have been having with a certain potion maker.
Uh-oh. Is everything okay?
From what I can gather, some intrepid entrepreneur has been patent trolling. He is currently claiming the exclusive right to buy, sell, and trade a whole range of potions upon the Isle of Rafta.
What? But that's absurd. Nobody has the right to do that. And I have no intention of honoring some arbitrary restriction about what I'm allowed to sell.
Good for you. In fact, I've made an appeal to the authorities myself. Unfortunately, the perpetrator has two things going for him: dark magic and red tape. The patent he has imposed is magical in nature, meaning you couldn't break it if you tried. And it could be weeks before the Central Commission reviews all the paperwork and makes a ruling on the matter.
This is a disaster. Weeks? I'm not sure my business can hold out that long. Boss Sven must be the one behind this. He's trying to beat me before we even get to the competition.
You guessed it right. But you're not the only one he's hurting with this move. As you must know, my heroes frequent the local potion shops. Now that Boss Finn has got a stranglehold on the market, they're forced to go to him. And he's able to charge exorbitant fees.
So now he's gonna be smarmy and rich. What a great combination. He's definitely not making it easy for me. But this only makes me more determined than ever to beat him.
I had a feeling you'd say as much. And keep in mind, the restriction on selling potions does not extend to the gifting of potions. So, if you were to send a hero out on an adventure, you're free to outfit them with potions as usual. Thus, it behooves me to mention that, even in this time of uncertainty, the Heroes Guild remains open for all your adventuring needs.
Well, I've got to admire that hustle.
Sorry to chase you away, but I'm about to head down to the beach.
Can I join you?
I mean, you can, but I'll be marking turtle nests to keep them from getting trampled. Not what most people would call a good time.
Are you kidding? Compared to facing another onslaught of demanding customers, it sounds like a dream vacation. Come on, show me what you get up to in your spare time.
This is the spot.
Thanks for offering a steadying hand back there. That is a steep slope. But how are your hands so soft? Do you moisturize?
Oh, it's all new skin. I had to grow it back after a run-in with a corrosive corgi. Navigating a steep slope isn't so hard, though. Just need decent boots. Having the right gear is always essential. Gotta be prepared for anything.
That's doubly true when you're dealing with...
Hey, now let's get started here. I've got everything we need. See it? That's a nest. Sea turtles lay their eggs in the sand, where they're vulnerable to careless footfalls and errant volleyballs. Not on my watch. We gotta let people know where the nests are.
Yes! Save the turtles! Let's do it.
Enthusiasm's good, but don't get too close to any of the mothers. They have powerful flippers and they know how to use them. It's why this particular species is known as the slapping turtle.
Noted. I'll keep my distance.
Those women appear to have depleted their stamina. Despite all that talk of being prepared, I'm fresh out of restorative potions. I may need to carry them to safety.
Don't you dare! They're just enjoying themselves.
By lying prone on the ground? I'd be worried about aerial predators. Maybe that's just me.
It's just you.
Suppose my time in the wild left me extra vigilant.
Have you really spent that much time out in nature?
I have.
Were you raised by wolves?
Nothing like that. Although, I did learn a fair bit from the wombats.
Well, you're back in civilization now. You can afford to let your guard down a little. Although, come to think of it, I've never really seen you relax.
Too much to do. I wouldn't know where to begin.
How about a massage? That could work out some of that tension.
Being touched generally makes me more tense, not less. Although, You do look to have powerful hands.
Thanks. Take it from me. You've got to find ways to relax, or the stress of the city will eat you alive. In a place like this, you can only go so far on your knowledge of sandworms and squirrels and slapping turtles.
Sylvia, I would never slap a turtle. Sorry, just some naturalist humor.
Oh boy.
I hear what you're saying, and I'll ponder it. But in my heart, I know I'm not the type to be idle. I can appreciate the sea air and the feeling of sand beneath my feet. But I can help out these turtles at the same time.
Fair enough. It's definitely a nice break from my shop, just like I hoped. And hey, maybe we'll get lucky and see some of these eggs hatch while we're here.
Oh, I wouldn't wish for that. The babies are vicious little beasts, and they go right for your weak points. Believe me when I say you do not want to get turtle tapped.
And the beach is ruined for me. Thanks.
I'm awfully glad you're hanging around today. I need a pick-me-up. And you have an undeniable ability to cheer me up.
I take my best friend responsibilities very seriously.
So, what should we do? Oh, I know. Somewhere out there, a cat is stuck in a tree. It happens every day. And what good is a hero if those mews for help go unanswered?
Just to be clear, when you say cats...
I mean pirates, yeah. Very enthusiastic climbers, those pirates. Come on, I'll show ya. You'd think they'd learn not to climb those things. It just never ends well for them. But I guess I know what it's like to make the same mistake over and over. And take my quest, for instance.
Still no luck out there?
Plenty of luck. All of it bad. The other day, I found a pretty famous short sword that's been wielded in some epic campaigns. Somehow, it ended up in a dragon's hoard. I had to fight my way through a clutch of drakes, sneak past a sleeping dragon, and solve a super obtuse riddle just to get my hands on it.
Oof, sounds like quite an adventure.
Yeah, but this sword's whole thing is that it glows when it's in the vicinity of a monster. Which, as it turns out, isn't super helpful when there are monsters everywhere and you're trying to retain the element of surprise. After that, I tracked down a fabled artifact called the Everstone. It had been abandoned atop the highest peak on the island. According to the stories, whoever wields the Everstone has their strength increased tenfold. I assumed that meant it was enchanted with a buff of some kind. Turns out it was just a heavy rock. It makes you stronger if you bench press it every day.
Look on the bright side. I bet you had quite a view from atop that mountain.
You know, I really did. I wish you could have been there. Despite everything else going on, I've been in high spirits since our big talk. It feels so good to have a friend, especially one who isn't caught up in all the guild politics. If I'm honest, I'm a little worried that I'm not pulling my weight here.
I'm sure that's not true.
Stats don't lie, Sylvia. Baptiste tracks it all. Who brought in the most loot this week, who took down the most monsters, who cleared which dungeon fastest. I'm not the worst, but I'm not the best. Not in any category. And I didn't come all this way to be, mediocre. It's time to step it up. Time to prove I'm worthy by finding a weapon fit for a true hero. I know it's out there, Sylvia, and I'm going to find it.
I wouldn't bet against you.
You had better not. Not if you want this coupon.
I want it. I do.
Today, everybody gets what they want. I'm going back out there, and I'm not going to quit until I find what I'm looking for.
Say, your lips look extra glossy today.
I just touched up my makeup a minute ago. It pays to put in the effort to look your best. If only because it can provide a surge of self-confidence.
I can make an effort. But don't tell me you need more confidence.
Generally, no. Although I've been doing some soul-searching of late. Terribly inconvenient stuff, soul-searching. It started when I ran into someone on the street.
An old friend?
An old Mark. A man I fleeced for quite a bit of gold over the last few months. He spotted me through the crowd. He approached. I was sure he intended to cause a scene, perhaps demand his money back. Instead, he tried to give me money. He told me he'd missed my potions. He offered me a goodly sum for a fresh dose of my anti-baldness elixir.
Okay, that is definitely not a potion that exists.
I know that, and you know that. He'd never figured it out. And my first thought was, easy money, right? But something happened. As I stood there, staring at the man's trusting eyes and swiftly receding hairline, I imagined our roles were reversed. I felt empathy.
So you told him the truth?
Oh, heavens no! I told him I was late for my charity work at a home for plucky, soot-covered orphans, and I beat a hasty retreat. But I didn't take his money. I think perhaps that's due to your influence. And I suppose I just wanted to tell you. That is, I thought you should know.
Yes.
That if not for this ridiculous moral code, I'd have extra money with which to pay you rent.
Dang. Is it too late to go back and fleece the guy?
That opportunity, like the man's bangs, is lost forever. Now let's get out of here for a spell. I'm in the mood for a change of scenery. Such a strange place, the forest. It's so open.
And no one to interrupt us. We could do pretty much anything we wanted.
You're full of surprises, aren't you? Starting with the moment you bested me in that competition. When I first saw you, I sized you up immediately. I pegged you for a spoiled little girl who'd never had to fight or scrape for anything in her life. And I was certain you'd be easy prey. I'm not too proud to admit I was wrong. Wrong on all counts. You're a fighter, Sylvia. You're every bit the fighter I am.
Thank you for acknowledging that. And you're right. I'm tough as nails and twice as sharp.
There, see? You don't even need the compliment. I can get out of the way if you want to pat yourself on the back. My point is this. We have common ground, and a lot of it. I thought that made us enemies. Then I thought it made us allies. But we're more even than just allies, aren't we? Sylvia, I've noticed your rather adorable attempts at catching my eye. And I find myself thinking that we might have fun together. But I have to ask, do you think you can handle all this?
Oh, I can handle it. In fact, I'd really like to.
Oh, you thirsty thing. Very well, I'm game. The buttoned-up ones always end up being the most fun. But if we're going to date, I need you to know something. As you may have guessed, I'm quite comfortable in my own skin. Typically, I can separate the physical and emotional aspects of coupling. That may not be so easy in this case. You mean a great deal to me, Sylvia. I fear I may get attached.
Is that really something to fear?
Maybe, but I'm not really the sort to let fear get in my way.
That's one of the many things I like about you.
Oh, I could grow to enjoy this. Tell me what else you like about me, Sylvia, and please, do be thorough.
Another sunny day. Man, those weather witches are good.
Greetings, Sylvia! And please make no effort to sell me anything. For as we both know, I am helpless before your many charms. And today, I am here not to lavish you with gold, but to tell you I am once again expanding my offerings.
I'm all ears.
Human ears are very prominent, that is true. But as for my news, from this day forth, in addition to cauldrons, I shall offer for sale aging barrels. Placing a potion in such a barrel will assuredly elevate its quality, and thus its selling price. It means delaying gratification for yourself and your eager customers, but as the saying goes, great things come to those who shop with Muktuk!
You know, I've never actually said that, but I'm going to start. An aging barrel could definitely come in handy on those occasions when I'm not rushing to get a potion immediately from cauldron to shelf.
I knew you would see the wisdom in this. Come and visit me when you are ready to begin. If you can supply the materials, I shall provide the rest. And, Sylvia, good luck, yes? This boss Finn makes the hairs of my mustache stand on end. It would be good, I think, for you to trounce him.
Hey, thanks for having me over. I'm excited to do some cooking. It feels so wholesome. I'm having all sorts of domestic fantasies right now. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I brought veggies and a fresh loaf of bread. But here's the main attraction.
Hold on. Did you?
What? Take down a dinosaur and carve off steaks for us? No way, Syl. I mean, thanks for the vote of confidence, but I'm not quite operating at that level yet. No, I bought these dinosaur steaks, like a normal person. Now, where's your kitchen?
It's not so much a kitchen as an open fire with a cauldron hanging over it.
I can work with that. You got any salt? It's a great space, but living in your shop, it must make it hard to strike a healthy work-life balance.
I make time for friends. We're hanging out now, right?
So you're not just spending time with me for the haggle tips? I'm teasing you. I'm glad we're hanging out. I'm glad we're friends. And I'm glad you're striving for some kind of balance. Because take it from somebody who knows, burnout is real. You have to be able to step back from the rat race every now and then. Have to make room for other pursuits. I've even skipped out on a few rehearsals recently. I just couldn't swing everything, you know? Left me a little underprepared for my performances. But I've always been good at improvising. You know what I'm talking about, right? You don't have the luxury of following a script when a customer walks in.
Thinking of it like improv will help. Although it's usually better to stick with a recipe when crafting potions. Or cooking.
Cooking, right. I need to flip those steaks. I don't think you realize what a treat this is for me. I've gone entire years without preparing a single meal. This is exactly why I came here, you know? To just live for a while. To do things for myself. I'm starting to feel downright average.
The steaks are fancy, though. We should have picked up some hot dogs or something.
You know, I was eyeballing the mystery meat aisle, but the steaks just look too magical to pass up. The truth is, I know my limits. And on that subject, I could use some more guidance on the song I'm writing. What do you think? Should our hero have powers to set them apart? Or should they rely on pluck, smarts, and charm over special abilities?
Personality. I like a hero who makes her own opportunities.
Makes it easier to relate, doesn't it? Thanks for the input, Sylvia. Hang on, is something burning?
I shouldn't have stoked the fire. I got him all riled up.
Hey, no harm done. We've still got veggies and bread. And I swiped a half-empty bottle of wine from the bar when Baptiste's back was turned. No, wait, I meant I swiped a half-full bottle of wine.
That's looking on the bright side.
Hey, when I'm with you, the bright side is easy to find.
Come on, blood brother. Let's get out of here.
Where to?
There's a party at the Heroes Guild, and we want to see the place. As buildings go, that guild hall is one fine sea vessel. The fact that it's intact at all after a Kraken battle tells you those sailors knew what they were doing. And they really showed that old witch a thing or two.
I'm down for a party.
Good, because Pepper and I, we weren't invited. But we heard you know some of those heroes. Think you can get us in?
I'll talk to Baptiste. I bet he'll let you in.
And what if he says no? Better to sneak us in. You leave a window open, and our cat-like agility will do the rest.
I don't want to piss off any heroes, though. Who wants to get smited?
Then I guess you better not get caught.
Also, it's smoked.
Hey, this party's all right. I mean, nothing's on fire, but it's early still.
I like the trophies. We could do something like that.
We'd have too many. The ship would sink under the weight of our many triumphs. The next round's on the captain! Huzzah!
Sylvia, you are wonderful. I am so glad you're a blood brother. Rotherer. Blood brother.
Oh boy, somebody got into the catnip. Sylvia, you ready to go? I could use some help getting the captain back. Also, I've been getting dirty looks since that chandelier came down. Like it's my fault it wasn't bolted in better.
I could talk to Baptiste, try to smooth things over.
I ain't bothered. What's he gonna do? But here, was gonna give you this coupon anyway. You can always pass it along if you want to mollify him.
I think I'd rather keep it for myself.
Now you're talking like a pirate.
I need to work off some steam, and yoga isn't cutting it today. Not even hot yoga with baby goats.
Can I help somehow?
Just seeing your face helps. It's quite a lovely face. Unfortunately, I suspect my frustrations will return as soon as you depart. That's why I asked you out here for a bit of therapy.
Wait, where did that come from?
Oh, I have weapons stashed all over town. Perhaps that's a haggling tip you can try.
It's not at all relevant to haggling.
Oh, fine. Here's a coupon instead.
That works. Thanks.
Now, shall we? Fun, isn't it? I call it smash and gab. Maybe it could be my next business, after this enchanting lark falls apart.
Always smart to have a plan B. You never know what's gonna happen.
Precisely. And I've always had a get-out-of-town bag packed and ready if things go south.
I thought business was good and you were on track to get your license. Did something change? We smashed. Now gab.
If you insist. It's just that I have this exam coming up. It's the final hurdle in securing my business license. So I took a practice exam. It came back with so much red it looked like a murder scene. I'd like to say it's because I was distracted by daydreams of that face of yours. But that's not true. I thought I'd done just fine.
There's no shame in it. That's the whole point of a practice exam. It just means you have to hit the books.
Oh, I tried that. I also tried biting, scratching, and kicking the books.
You know what I meant. You need to study.
But that's absurd. I know all of this already. I'm running a profitable business. Why in the world should I have to study then for a test about how to run a business?
Because there's a difference between practical knowledge and book smarts. The former might be enough to do the work. But if you want your license, you have to prove you have the latter too.
So let me get this straight. It's not enough that I've shelled out my hard-earned money and filled out their little forms. I'm also expected to parrot their little trivia back at them. All to earn the approval to do the work that I'm already doing. That is quite a scam, and I would know.
That's the system we're stuck with, for better or worse. The business world definitely has its own set of rules. Just think of it like a game.
A game? But you know if I play a game, then I play to win.
Exactly. I know you'll do whatever it takes. Even if it means spending hours memorizing trivia.
I know when a gauntlet's been thrown down. Very well. I'm going to crush this exam, Sylvia. I'll do whatever it takes. But first, I'm going to find a new hiding spot for this sledgehammer. I have a feeling I'll be needing it again soon.
All set for our study session? I've got the flashcards.
And I've got the snacks. Although I'm afraid you'll have to sign a waiver first. Some of these snack peppers are hot enough to scald your tongue.
I can handle you, can't I? I'm obviously not afraid of getting burned.
Sylvia, you're speaking my language at last.
Unfortunately, we've got to get you ready for that exam. And studying tends to kill the mood.
Does it? Because that sounds like a challenge to me.
Not that I'm complaining, but I'm not sure this is how studying works.
Sure it is. Why do you think they're called flashcards? Besides, I don't really need to study. This was just a ploy to get you alone. I already know I'm going to ace this exam. There's no doubt about that.
Well, that's a bit ominous.
I've had enough, Sylvia. For too long have I languished on the surface world, shackled by the rules of polite society. Your tender affections have made this place bearable, but still, I suffered. Oh, have I suffered. Now, at last, I have the upper hand.
I forgot how much you enjoyed playing the villain.
It's positively thrilling. But I'm not just role-playing here. I've got gossip. Hot, juicy, damaging gossip. The sort of person might pay to make go away.
Wait. You're talking about...
Blackmail.
Is this about my snoring? Because I'm not that embarrassed.
Dear thing, no. I wouldn't dream of fleecing you. I mean, what would I even get out of you? Loose change and pocket lint? Listen, I didn't go looking for trouble. Not this time. But I was naturally curious about the identity of the man who will be proctoring my exam. I thought I'd wear his favorite perfume, perhaps, or the colors of his favorite sports team. Just a little something to nudge his perception of me in a positive direction.
I'm not sure that would help with a totally objective multiple-choice test, but okay.
Imagine my surprise, however, when I realized I recognized the man. I'd seen him once before. Among the revelers at a pirate jamboree.
He must have made quite an impression.
You could say that. He was thrown overboard midway through the party, in fact, after he was caught pawing through a litter box. Some people claimed he'd simply dropped his keys. Others believed he was deep in his cups and looking for buried doubloons. The outcome was the same. His actions were declared an irredeemable party foul, and he was forced to walk the plank before he could stink up the place. I photoglyphed the whole thing, and I can't imagine he'd want those images to be posted anywhere. All this to say, I have a trump card, and now I only have to decide whether to use it.
Use every advantage you can. Knowledge is power.
Really? I was sure you'd object.
Hey, it's tough out there. And you and I are in no position to pass up an edge.
I think you're just telling me what I want to hear. Either that, or I'm having an outsized influence over your moral character. I'm not sure I like either possibility.
Really? I thought you'd love the idea of corrupting me.
Maybe a little. However, lately I've grown increasingly uncomfortable with shortcuts. That's due in no small part to your influence. More than once, when faced with a moral conundrum, I've found myself asking, what would Sylvia think?
It sounds like you're developing a conscience. You know the right thing to do. It's just easier for you to do it when you can blame it on me.
A conscience and a psychoanalyst all in one, eh? You're a perfectly rotten influence, Sylvia.
And by that you mean, I'm a good influence?
Call it what you like. It's aggravating. You have such an innocent demeanor, but you certainly know how to deploy your charm to get what you want. Turn that magnetic sway onto your customers. I think you'll like the results.
Thanks. Now, should we get back to studying?
Perhaps later. I have some machinations to ponder. And it's much easier to be wicked when you're not around.
Roxanne is struggling to walk the straight and narrow. I should find a way to show support for her new lease on life.
Here we are, Sylvia, where we belong, on the cutting edge. The Guild has recently debuted an entirely new art form. It is daring, it is immersive, it is karaoke. And I should like to try it. Ah, that was invigorating.
Good job. But are you okay?
Of course. Why? Were my warbles not to your liking?
It's more the choice of song. And I'm pretty sure you were crying through the third verse. Are we, good?
Ah, careless of me to choose such a song. I did not choose it for the lyrics, dear Sylvia, but for the pitch. Muktuk's vocal range lies somewhere below bass. I am a happy walrus. I have much to be grateful for. Although, there is, I confess, a well of sadness within me. I tap it from time to time as fuel for art. Of late, despite all that is good in this life, I find that well is growing.
Is it something I can help with?
It is good of you to ask, and yet, your kindness, it deepens my shame. For I have not been entirely honest with you, Sylvia. I told you that the ancestors, they have been quiet. But in truth, they have been utterly silent. To have been on my pilgrimage for so long, and heard nothing. It is worrying, Sylvia. Deeply so. I strive to be deserving of the ancestors' guidance. I push myself to my limits until my muscles ache. Yet, they remain silent. And so, naturally, I wonder, is the problem with Muktuk? Is Muktuk not worthy of their wisdom?
I believe in you, no matter what. And I'm sure you'll find the inspiration you need to create your masterpiece.
Your faith is a kindness, one I do not take for granted. Yet it is my faith that is in question. What if... I can hardly bring myself to say it, but say it I must. What if there are no ancestors? What if those who claim to have heard them were untruthful? What if I am only the butt of some grand joke?
It's only natural to have moments of doubt. But you shouldn't doubt what you've accomplished. You're so talented, Muktuk. Your upgrades have demonstrably improved my life.
As ever, you humble me. And it is very persuasive to focus on the artistry. If you were selling me my own cauldrons, I would buy!
There, see? You get where I'm coming from.
There are things I do well, and it is good of you to remind me. But I have grander ambitions. Fear not, however. I shall not allow myself to become mired in self-pity. For wallowing is the ultimate self-indulgence, and I do not have the time to waste.
Muktuk is being too hard on himself. He needs to see that he's already accomplished great things. Maybe I can help with that.
Got another craft project if you're up for it.
Is it fashion?
This is just the base layer. I have the rest of the supplies here.
So, not fashion.
Making a ghillie suit. Done right, it'll help me hide in plain sight. I've got the materials handy for one of two suits. We can make something for the Shadow Step or for the Storm Plains. What's your preference?
Storm Plains. Don't forget your rubber boots.
Right. I've got biome-appropriate mud and sodden moss, but it needs to smell right too.
Oh, use the Raiju droppings. I can smell them from here.
Yes. Most importantly, Raiju droppings can be found all over the plains. Bad for tourists, good for a plains-bound ghillie suit.
Wait a minute. Were you quizzing me just now?
Maybe.
I bet you quiz all the girls. Am I right?
You're not, no. Just noticed you've been coming around a lot. I haven't had many friends. Or other sorts of companions. I guess I wanted to be sure we're compatible.
I don't know whether to be flattered or insulted.
If it's a toss-up, I hope you'll go with flattered. You should know I don't mean offense.
And you should know that friendship isn't based on pop quizzes.
Aha, so this is a friendship. That's precisely what I had hoped to ascertain.
Of course we're friends. You set me up with that slime pod. I helped you out on the beach.
So in your view, friendships are transactional?
Well, no, there's a little more to it than that. I don't mind pitching in on your projects, but I'm really here because I want to spend time with you.
I see. Then I suppose I shouldn't sully our friendship by giving you this coupon.
What? No, gimme! I guess friendship's not transactional.
In that case, friend, it's time to get your hands dirty. Because we're gonna need to slather a whole lot of mud on this here suit.
I hope Oswald is okay. But I also hope he feels super guilty.
How's it hanging, chum? You feel like tapping out at any point? You just let me know.
Are you for real? This isn't a wrestling match we're talking about. It's my career. So if you're expecting me to just quit, you're deluding yourself.
Flashing those teeth of yours again, eh? You talk to all your customers that way?
I'm pretty sure you have to buy something to be considered a customer.
You know, I'd almost be willing to buy a stamina potion off you. But that would be an illegal transaction, and I know a promising young potion maker like yourself wouldn't want to show such disrespect to the law, or to me.
Don't tell me you're still patent trolling, and you're actually bragging about it. I guess you can't beat me without resorting to dirty tricks.
It's an unconventional strategy, sure. I call that thinking outside the tank.
I call it unethical, and possibly illegal.
Whoa, whoa. Watch the slander, chum. Have I broken any laws here? I don't actually know the answer to that, but I've got some really good lawyers on retainer. The kind of guys who just love to drag out the proceedings. You got money to burn on that sort of thing? Go ahead and burn it.
Maybe I can't take you to court, but I'm gonna fight this, Finn, however I can.
Hey, I don't expect anything less from you, chum, and I wouldn't want this to be too easy. It's a real bad habit of mine, I know, but I've always liked to play with my food.
Sylvia, pull up a fishing rod. We gotta replenish the provisions. Oh, I wish for a fish. And I wish for a dish for the fish. I wonder if we might have more luck if we were quiet. Or used more appetizing bait. Oh, we're just the decoys. We're supposed to be super conspicuous. That way the fish swim away from us and right into the blast fishing zone off the side of the boat.
As the saying goes, you catch more fish with cannons.
Huzzah! Oh, right. Sylvia, there's something we gotta discuss. You know, all that, hey, you're a blood brother, welcome to the family stuff. Might have gotten ahead of ourselves. Wow, so much for family is forever, I guess.
You're still a blood brother, Sylvia.
Yeah, we aren't dropping you off at the orphanage or anything. In fact, hold up. I started us off on the wrong path. We need to have us a perlay. In other words, let's clear our heads and start over. Consider it done. Now, what did you want to talk about? It ain't really no big deal. Just had some of the crew point out you can't be a real pirate if you never made an offering to the big guy. The big guy? You know, the pious peace saint? The saltwater savior? He of the many scales and no fingers?
The great Katuna.
Oh, hail the Great Katuna! The Great Katuna is a pirate deity, I take it?
The one and only. From his trench far below, he watches all that transpires upon the ocean's surface. When he is pleased, our ships can come and go without any hassle. When he is displeased, look out.
Storms, tidal waves, primordial horrors newly wakened and crazed with hunger.
At once, I got a splinter. The best way to stay on Katuna's good side is by making an offering. Big guy likes his cut of the booty, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so you throw stuff overboard? Like seashells? Wine and mutton?
More like cold hard cash, Sylvia. Or the equivalent in precious goods. In your case, a couple fancy potions would do the trick.
Whatever it takes. If I need to make an offering, then so be it.
Well, that's what we like to hear. In fact, since you've got so much money to spare, maybe kick a little my way too.
That's bordering on sacrilege, Salt.
Katuna doesn't mind a little entrepreneurial spirit. Anyway, we'll give you some time to get your offering together. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Get in the deep water deity's good graces, and it'll be smooth sailing from here on out.
If I want to run with Salt and Pepper, I've got to make a sacrifice to Katuna. It'll hurt my bottom line, but I've come this far.
Nice day for a shopping spree, isn't it? I don't really need anything, but maybe I'll see something I can't resist. In addition to you, I mean.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
Do I seem a little manic? I probably do. You've got to understand, back home, I never got to do stuff like this. I couldn't leave my house without being mobbed by fans and photogs. Forget about a shopping trip, there'd have been a riot. I feel ridiculous complaining about it. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but it's a lot sometimes. I'm glad I decided to go incognito while in Rafta.
Blue hair and facial piercings? That's an interesting spin on incognito.
Hey, what can I say? I'm an original. It's not like I want to fade into the background. I just want a little distance between myself and my brand, I guess. My professional image is cookie cutter clean. But out here, well, my stylist isn't around to tell me what not to wear.
I prefer to make my own fashion choices, even when they're bad ones.
Totally. There's some things a person should get to decide for herself. Back home, it wasn't just my clothes or hair that were out of my control. Before this little sabbatical, my record label had final say over what I ate, where I went, who I spent time with. I'm telling you, Sylvia, they micromanaged my whole life, all in an effort to maximize my appeal to the widest possible audience. It's nice to get a break from all that, to explore my own style.
And write your own music.
Yes, exactly that. It's sort of all related, isn't it? Choosing your own look, the face you present to the world, and singing your own words. Words you believe. It's all self-expression. Find your rhythm, and people will hear what you're really trying to say.
That's a tip I can tap my foot to.
I hope you'll be swaying along to my original composition soon.
So the writing's going well?
Yeah, I've gotten to the part in the story where our hero needs to lean on someone else. I could introduce an animal helper, or have our hero enlist the aid of a great magician. Which trope do you like best?
Helpful mage. You can't go wrong leaning on the supernatural.
If it's magic you want, it's magic you shall have. As for me, I want footwear, I think. Did you see? There's a whole booth over there just for shoes.
I saw a pair of boots with some pretty severe spikes. I think they might suit you. But you should be the judge of that.
You've got me figured out pretty well, haven't you? Come on, let's both try on a pair.
It's not so bad without customers around.
Hello again, Sylvia.
Robin! And May! I didn't think I'd be seeing you before the competition. Did you reconsider and decide to buy a potion after all?
Keep up the good work and I won't be able to resist. But no, I'm here to discuss another potion maker entirely. What do you know about this Boss Finn character?
He's a piece of work, I can tell you that. He's using some kind of magical patent to prevent me from selling certain potions.
Not just you. It's affecting all of us. And between you and me, I am not happy.
It can't be legal.
It's not. But who's going to step in? Rafta is barely civilized. We have the town guard to protect us from obvious, violent crimes. But the subtler variety of criminal could ride roughshod over us for years.
He's my next opponent, you know. We're scheduled to face off in a couple days.
Oh, I'm aware. And I absolutely must maintain my objectivity. Otherwise, he and I would be having words right now. And I guarantee he wouldn't enjoy that very much. If you happen to beat him, feel free to kick him while he's down, would you? I'll turn a blind eye. If you don't beat him, however, well, my objectivity only has to last so long, and I've got a potion of dehydration with his name on it. See you soon, Sylvia.
Wow, I guess Boss Finn brings out the murderous rage in just about everybody, right, Oswald? Oh, right. For a second, Never mind.
energy is lagging today.
Need caffeine?
It isn't doing much for me right now. I hope I'm not developing an immunity. I was thinking of getting some exercise. It's more time-consuming than an espresso, but the endorphin rush can't be beat. Do you mind holding my punching bag steady?
It'll make a nice change. Working in retail means I usually am the punching bag. Well, I wouldn't bet against you in a fight.
Oh, I don't know. I don't like my odds against anything that would punch back. Let the heroes pull aggro. I'm happy keeping my head down. Now, could I interest you in an ice-cold ampheterade? I've got grape, lemon lime, and cashmere.
Isn't that the stimulant-enhanced sports drink that's banned in 6 kingdoms?
Yeah, it's not easy to get a hold of, but I just got a care package from home. My mom loves a challenge, and she does not love interkingdom trade restrictions.
Is it even safe to drink that stuff?
I mean, it hits like a runaway carriage full of coffee beans and angry hornets. But I built up a tolerance for it in high school. It was my secret weapon.
You were pulling all-nighters even back then?
Both of my parents really pushed the importance of school, although they aren't big on learning for the sake of learning. Education was always a means to an end. My siblings and I had to get good grades so we could launch right into successful careers in law, medicine, or banking. You'll notice I didn't say anything about marketing.
I always like a black sheep. There's nothing more attractive than a person who forges her own path.
Well, don't get too excited. I wasn't exactly a rebel without a cause or anything. My choice of career wasn't what they wanted for me, but I did get a great job offer from a major firm right out of school. So my parents didn't really have a problem until I decided to leave that firm and move to RAFTA. I gave up a prestigious job with full benefits and clear upward mobility for a rough-and-tumble startup on the edge of the world.
Well, when you put it like that, it sounds awesome.
I know, right? Sadly, they don't quite see it that way. To them, running a successful business in a frontier town is like being the dog who gets the best table scraps. Other dogs are jealous, sure, but nobody else is.
They'll come around. What you're doing is so impressive, they'll have to see that.
I hope they do, because I want them to be proud. But I'm not willing to let them run my life. We fight, and they get under my skin like no one else. But I've learned to keep my head down and do my own thing. And to just trust that one day, they'll see the value in what I do. After all, if they taught me anything, it's that there's no use trying to live a stress-free life. Stress will find you. Sometimes it's better to face it head on, you know? Embrace the caffeine rush and power through the stress however you can.
I hear you. The only way out is through.
That's true, whether you're trying to get a fledgling business off the ground or vying for your parents' approval.
Or just angling for the best table scraps. Because, let's be real, I will eat off your plate. So, what's our project for today?
As a matter of fact, I didn't have anything in mind. Why don't we do some of that, relaxing you're so fond of? Maybe we could treat ourselves to something sweet.
I guess that depends on what you had in mind. Let me guess. Raiding a bee dazzler hive for fresh honey? Fighting a pack of feral squirrels for foraging rights to a berry bush?
Ice cream, Sylvia. I'm talking about buying some ice cream. I'm not completely uncivilized, you know.
Now this was a good idea.
What'll you have?
It's hard to choose. So many options.
Not for me. Only one vegan option.
You know, I've never tried vegan ice cream before. What's it like?
If you're curious, I'd be happy to buy it for you.
You don't have to do that.
Please allow me. It would be my pleasure.
Hey, this is pretty good. Honestly, I'm not sure I would have even known the difference. Right. So, anyway. Kill any cool monsters lately?
You know that isn't what I do, don't you? I have killed in self-defense and will do so again. But when it happens, I won't be bragging about it.
Okay. Sorry. I hope you don't mind me saying so. But your small talk could use some work.
Not certain it's worth the effort. What's small talk gonna get me?
Maybe a love connection? Wouldn't you like to get out there and play the field? Or maybe even play a little closer to home?
I really wouldn't know where to start.
Small talk is easy. Here, just follow my lead. How about this weather?
Yes, it worries me too. It's just the right temperature to agitate any three-legged coconuts in the area.
Okay. All right, let's try again, but maybe without bringing up any weird monsters this time. What's your #1 favorite color?
I don't rightly know. Is this a trap? This feels like a trap.
Korsak, relax. There's literally no wrong answer here.
If that's true, then what's the point of asking?
I want to get to know you better. It's as simple as that.
Then you should ask about my deeply held beliefs.
You can't start with that stuff. Small talk helps people ease into the heavy topics.
I'll have to take you at your word. You certainly know your way around people better than I do. Although there's something to be said for insulating yourself from all the frenzied socializing and intrigue. When you go to the happy place in your mind, you tend to get what you want.
I'm pretty sure.
We don't see, but on that,